What up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl, Jamie, and you already know what it is. You already know. So come on in. Let's get into the energy, alright? So we're going to do an energy reading for the collective Virgo, and already it has been crazy, okay? There's multiple songs of the day, but this is the one that I ended on. Okay, it's called Escucha Man, and basically the things that stood out in the song was uh, everybody's trying to get out of the rain, but you're enjoying it, all right? And automatically the reading started to make sense. Everybody's being rained on right now. There's things that you're going through that you're going through, but it's not stopping the spirit. You feel me? It's not stopping you from enjoying the sunshine. Alright? It's like a spiritual covering. Everybody's trying to get out of the rain, but you're thriving in the rain because you have a level of spiritual covering here. Ignorance is bliss and spiritual crown chakra. And then we get the devil right under it. So I feel like there is two parallel energies happening at the same time. Everybody's in the rain, but some of us have covering from it. And it's because we have detached. Nine of Cups, Four of Cups, the devil in the reverse. We have detached from something. Okay? So now we can live under the rain. Y'all not hearing me. With the devil in the reverse, there could have been a relationship, a feeling, some type of entrapment that you were stuck in, okay? And it allows you to feel the rain. It allowed you to go through hardships, all right? And I feel like you separated yourself from whatever was connected to hardship. And now you get to have some type of spiritual covering. Here comes the Sun, Leo season. There's some type of contract here that has certain terms and conditions. And when you are abiding by the terms and conditions, it's sunny. Okay? I heard it's sunny in San Francisco. Okay? We have Transformer energy, and I don't mind is the devil's playground. There's been some type of transformation. With this card, this is something that was stolen from you. So somebody could have stolen your peace of mind. They could have stolen your positivity. They could have stolen your hope. They could have stolen your faith. They could have stolen a spiritual gift, okay, a spiritual fruit, or the fruit of the spirit. They could have stolen something from you that messed with your demeanor in some type of way, okay? Um, but when you understood the terms of the contract of something, that means you were placed somewhere to teach you something. And that's crazy because the first note that I put is live for the better and learn from the worst. So whatever situation is going on was a lesson. And when you learn from that worst energy, when you learn from the lesson, you get to take your power back from some type of devil playground. Okay? It's like God gives the devil a leash to tempt you, okay? And if you fall for it, you get to, be rained on. But if you don't, you get the sunshine, terms and conditions. There's dynamics of this playing out all the time. And this one happened to do with your mental space. Because you know how I know that? Because we have the brain tax. Look at the photo. There's something about your brain, um, your mental energy. And there's something about the processing RAM inside of your mental energy. Okay, when you were thinking about some type of devil playground, the more you felt the rain. Now I'm hearing that song, no one can feel the rain on your skin, only you can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can feel the rain upon your skin, or something like that. Okay, and you were able to feel rain because you allowed it. All right, now you're mentally understanding how you allowed yourself to be rained on, took advantage of, cheated out of something. You're understanding why. All right, and it has to do with your mental capacity because there's something about you overthinking your intuition and repeating cycles. Okay, you know that this is the spiritual realm, right? So you're in a fight between your spiritual emotions and your mental emotions. And sometimes Virgo, because we're ruled by Mercury, allows for a crossing, okay? Allow for a devil's advocate. So you know how you have like angel advocates? You also have a devil's advocate. And sometimes you can teeter between the two and get in a point where you don't know what to do. right? But this is somebody who's seeing the trap and releasing themselves from the trap. You don't know what to do, so you do nothing to remove yourself completely until you figure out what to do. That is literally how you get out of the devil's playground, okay? Get out of some type of entrapment. There's also something about RAM process. You can think about something all day long, and it's going to frustrate you, and it's going to affect your manifestation. So there's something about thinking about it once and then releasing it from your mind. Okay? So if you're over processing a situation, you can mess up a situation. This could also be a part of some type of spiritual lesson. Alright? You can't stop thinking about something. Write down what you want to happen, and then don't think about it again. Every single time you think about it, think about what you wrote down, get it out of your mind, release it. There's something here about you changing the way you think. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. So this is happening because things weren't working and it exposed corruption. So you know things are supposed to flow, and when something doesn't flow, you know you're doing the wrong things, terms and conditions. So if what you're doing is causing for things not to flow, you have to do the opposite. Here comes the sun. This is this realization, okay? There's something about a spiritual lesson waking you up. I heard good morning. Something about Kanye West. Good morning. What's going on for Virgo? Okay. Oh, goodness. Crash out in the reverse. Okay. Somebody's ancestors and guides are in the reverse. Somebody's not getting help by their ancestors and guides. They're currently out of juice, out of life force, inhibition. There's giving me that song again. Only you can see it, buddy. Only you can let it in. No one else can feel the rain on your skin. I don't know what this is. 234. They're talking about like when the ancestors and angels can juice you up. This is like somebody's ancestors and angels being able to help them. Okay, they can give you that spiritual juice. They can pull you out of anything. They can assist you, give you aid. But with all this in the reverse, spiritual house in the reverse, there's someone out here whose ancestors can't intervene on the situation. They can't re-up this person. With a crash out in the reverse, that's the opposite of crashing out is doing nothing. And then we have rumor has it, and as above, so below. This is making someone speculate about what is supposed to happen. Okay, there's somebody who came against you. There's someone who's going through, this is just spiritual warfare. Somebody's spiritual house has been overtaken. Oh, Lord. Because they accommodated something. They accommodated the enemy. And here it comes, impending return. And there go the ancestors again. And now, a word from my ancestors. What the ancestors saying? One does not simply do what? Without a shadow of a doubt. Look at that in road opener. This is what I mean by parallel energy. There's somebody out here who's going through it because they tried to send you something because they thought it was fair, it was justice, but it wasn't. Now they're speculating what is fair and what is justice because somebody over here in the reverse and somebody else, without a shadow of a doubt, what? Somebody else has an open road. Somebody else is free from something. Subtle foreshadowing. Energy doppelganger. And whatever they sent towards you, they now know is going to hit them. And ain't nothing changed. There's nothing that's going to change about you. And this is a passive admission that somebody, here comes the sun. This is a passive admission about whoever is in the sun and whoever is in darkness knows they're passively telling you by whoever is in the sun and whoever is in darkness. This is that passive admission. Your ancestors and guides are not going to intervene. They're not going to tell you. They're not going to give you hints. They're just going to let the rain hit your ass. So you know that you're in the wrong. Your ancestors and gods can't be like, yeah, you're doing it, you're on the right path, but things are gonna feel more sunny, right? Things are gonna be working for you. This is how you know. I want to read the terms. Again, this is how you know the terms of the contracts. Somebody tried to do something. They sent you something. With the spiritual house in the reverse, accommodation in the reverse, and impending. Somebody opened up their spiritual house to an attack by accommodating something that's being sent back to them. Mm, mm, mm. Mm. And they can't even crash out. They can't even be mad because they know they did this. Somebody know they did this. Okay? One of y'all is in some sunlight. Okay? The other one is in some devil energy. This type of love who's in devil energy is going to want to let bygones be bygones because they see that you got the upper hand. You got the upper hand because as above, so below. Something wasn't fair. It wasn't just. It wasn't supposed to be your energy. All that. Changes, ideal, and make believe. Somebody did not want to believe that you were in some type of spiritual alignment. Whatever you were saying, whatever you were doing was what it was supposed to be. Somebody wanted to pretend like it was make believe so some change wouldn't come about. And because they're trying to stop some type of change to coming about that is divine, they allowed themselves to be lured right into Scorpio energy and be alchemized into the giving tree for you. Somebody, this is crazy. Somebody sacrificed their gifts to be given towards you. And now, and God, this is God using it in your favor. That's crazy. Now somebody is awake to this and they angry. That's crazy. You angry. Okay. Somebody allowed some type of spirit to capture them. And they open the door for whatever this spiritual battle is that you have the upper hand on. Over and over again. So, let's see. Take it as it resonates, Virgo. You could be the one who's out in the rain. You feel me? Take it as it resonates. Don't lie to yourself. Okay? Because there's people out here who's out in the rain and others of you are collecting rainwater. You feel me? Storing up your barrels, pouring into yourself, taking this time to live for the better. That's what I meant, okay, in the beginning by live for the better and learn from the worst. When it's real good, you go out and you store good memories, good energy. You pour into yourself, you gain knowledge, you start working out, you feel me? You do all the things that you couldn't do when you were fighting in spiritual warfare. And then there's others who are now being beat up in spiritual warfare, giving you a break. It's this type of energy. Some of y'all are experiencing a break from your enemies because they get got spiritually right now. And God telling you to live for the better days. Okay? Enjoy this time. For real. And don't do anything that allows for the susceptibility of death. Death card. Sudden endings of your peace. Where am I at? What are we doing? I don't know. Let's get it. Energy reading. Who is in this energy? Or why the ancestors ain't helping them? What's going on? 222 could be significant. 444. Nature. Holistics. Medicine. We got twin flame energy. A Gemini out here. Spiritual ancestors and guides and make-believe. Wow. And then we have dream, change, and nature. Open door, healing, and amen. What is that? There could be a Gemini. Third parties could be significant here. There could be someone who's into witchcrafts. Okay. They're into some type of spiritual rituals. Okay? They had a choice to choose what their ancestors and guides were telling them to do, but they thought it was make-believe. They thought it was a fairy tale. They thought it was a dream. Thought it was idealism. And they made a choice, change. And then we have medicine. Wow. This is that energy again, learning from the worst. Some type of change is actually like medicine. So somebody didn't believe in something their ancestors told them to do, so they went on a journey to change their mind. This is like Jonah and the whale type energy. You don't do what God said, He will swallow you up, okay, and put you and make you sit still and think about what He said. So when you are released from something, you won't think it's make believe when your ancestors tell you to do something. There's something like that going on. This is medicine. Somebody's ancestors and guides want them to know that they're not doing anything because this is like medicine. Okay? I'm getting like old fashioned medicine, like a spoonful of sugar, okay, oranges. They're giving me like old timey remedies. So they want someone to go back to some type of primitive state. So they're taking stuff from them. This is like to open up for some type of change. Rumor has it. This is why rumor is here. Somebody didn't believe something with with make believe and idealism. This is like somebody being warned. Like my ancestors don't play about me, and they're like, "Fuck your ancestors." This is like, oh Lord, this is like somebody be like, my ancestors don't play about me. Rumor has it, as below, as above, so below. My ancestors and God, they don't play about me. And somebody like, nah, fuck you, fuck your angels, fuck your ancestors, and look at them now, juiceless. Okay, lacking in life, lacking in the substance that makes them want to keep living. Right? Crash out in the reverse. They can't even be mad because they did say this. They did do this. There's something like that in which some type of ancestors and guides try to warn. I heard Warner Brothers. Okay. They tried to warn a brother. They really did. They really tried to warn a brother. And somebody had a choice to listen what the ancestors say or do some type of ritual. Okay, the ritual could simply be to disobey, okay, to create and manipulate energy in whatever way. But somebody thought it was make believe. They thought your ancestors were just kidding. And it opened themselves up for some natural change. That's this type of energy. Some type of change that's going to happen is going to make someone more spiritual. It's like not believing in the divine, not believing in spirituality is going to cause a change that makes them like have to go seek out medicine, have to go change their lifestyle, have to bow down. It's like things that force you to turn towards good. Okay? Like you can cheat change, you can cheat death over and over again. We all know death is just your form of self dying for a new one who doesn't have those past characteristics but have advanced characteristics. It's alchemy. But whoever this is was resistant to change. They wanted to have an obsolete version of themselves living in this new reality. Thus, death was chasing them. Okay? And this opened them up to whatever this is. Some type of natural nature help. So something happened to them that made them have to eat fruit and vegetables, that made them have to take medicine, that made them go out in nature and think about what they did. Okay? Somebody was they attract some type of healing from themselves, for themselves, or they open this door trying to do something to you. And they didn't believe your ancestors and gods and the entity would come swoop them up. They didn't believe the ancestors and God would just come swoop them up real quick in a little basket. They really didn't believe this would happen, and now they're sitting there swooped up in mental conflict while somebody else is living in bliss, mind, body, and soul. Here comes the sun energy. Stop playing with me. In isolation, in peace, there go the hermit in divine energy. In ignorance is bliss. Crown chakra energy, golden ticket energy. I'm telling you, one of us is suffering and the other is collecting rainwater. Waiting for the next time you try to challenge us. And that's the thing. Now you know that people coming against you and challenging you is just an opportunity to level up. I feel like you're welcoming the rain. You're welcoming the enemy to try to come tempt you. You want to speed this up. Okay, somebody wants to prolong something to keep you stuck in lessons and stop your progression. And you know the faster you slay them, the faster the level up. And I feel like you have an end goal. You have an end game. As above, so below. You know what's rumored out there for you. You know the end to all this. So I feel like you're trying to speed this up. No longer are you afraid of the rain. No longer are you afraid of evolution. No longer are you afraid of what the world can throw against you because you know it's just a lesson. It's just a challenge to overcome. And since you live for better days and learn from the worst, you know after the worst day come the better. It can't rain always. As above, so below. The sun will come out and I won't be paid for whatever just happened. So let's go. Let's go. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight. I ain't scared no more. And it's that energy that was the divine wanted to pull out of you out of this lesson. They wanted you to be ready and happy for the fight. Knowing your power, knowing your strength. And that was your lesson in dealing with whoever this is. And their lesson was to learn to listen to the divine. So you listening to the divine and being mixed up with your mental energy allowed for this lesson to happen. But it's because you listen to the divine, you know the laws of karma, you know how the universe is working. You were just trying to do the right thing. And the divine is trying to teach you where to stop, where to start, where to just stand aside and let the divine do something. And then you can go back listening to your spiritual. You feel me? And this is that season. You know when the sun is shining and your enemies are nowhere to be near, it's your season to thrive. Everybody's watching this. Which rumor has it as above, so below? Everybody's in attendance. The angels and the ancestors are in attendance. We have symbols, hieroglyphics, map, and trail. And that came out crossing. Not everybody can see the map. Not everybody can see the symbols. Not everybody can see the trail. Okay? Not everybody can see the opportunity. This is why this is a rumor. It's rumored. Let bygones be bygones. Calling of lore and soul time. Either you can let bygones be bygones, learn from the lessons, dust your shoulders off, and keep going, or you could be lured by your emotion to create a soul tie that bonds you to a certain trauma that allows you to recreate the lesson because you don't know how to heal from it, alchemize from it, and let it go. There's something happening like this. What time is it? It's adventure time. Somebody's no longer confused. Somebody got the message. I heard, aye, Captain. Something on a boat ship can be significant. It's crazy. As soon as you give somebody your money and you tell them to go do something with it, they really eager to spend your money, aren't they? I told this man, anyways. Yeah, let me focus. Dial in. Dial in. Alright. What time is it? It says extra time. Don't let nobody spend your money. Ace of Pentacles. There's a whole lot of money in the building. Alright. I'm telling you, when it rains, it pours. So we're all experiencing rain. It's just either it's a dark, doomy, gloomy rain, right? Or it's a real golden shower. Pause. Pause. I didn't mean it like that. Okay? I don't mean it like that. But I also heard don't let somebody piss on you and tell you that it's rain. Okay? But there's also like a financial rain going on right now. Alright? And people are hurt about it. They heard about the overflow. They're real emotional. Okay? They're real emotional. And their emotions are telling them what to do, but they stand their ground against doing it. And that's this trap that got them over there in doom and gloom, not wanting to see the signs and the synchronicities. This is like somebody seeing all the signs and synchronicities and covering their eyes. Okay? Just so they can stay mad about what they're mad about you doing. Okay? This is something happening to somebody where they're not mad about what you did anymore. It's this type of shit. Let's go. What's going on? Angels and ancestors in the reverse. Why are they in the reverse? We have the King of Pentacles and the Six of Coins. Whoa. Judgment again. We got the High Priestess, the Queen of Wands, the Magician, the Ten of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles. Judgment, the Eight of Coins, the King of Swords, the Two of Cups, the Tower, the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Wands, the Six of Cups. Okay, but why are the ancestors and guides in the reverse? The Strength card. King of Cups, King of Pentacles. A whole lot of masculine energy just popped out. There's someone out here who's getting intuitive urges to do the practical thing, to support, to be generous, to solve problems. But with the High Priestess to the Queen of Wands to the Magician, somebody's intuition is talking about you, or someone wants financial gain. And their intuition is telling them to do something. But instead, somebody may take action towards something that makes them happy, that they're still invested in. Holding back from what their intuition is telling them to do. Let me see. What's the Strength card? And the Ace of Pentacles? Who's the Queen of Wands? The Ten of Pentacles. You got fire in your chart? Okay, the Queen of Swords and the Eight of Swords, which is the Nine of Swords. We have the Wheel of Fortune, the Five of Pentacles, the Chariot in the reverse, the Devil in the reverse, the Four of Cups and the Nine of Cups. Yeah, baby, that's you. That's you, all right. Who's the King of Pentacles? These are the Lovers. Who's the King of Pentacles? The Three of Swords, the Star card, and the Queen of Pentacles. That's also you. There's someone here who's not listening to their intuition and strength in the Ace of Pentacles. Okay? With the King of Pentacles, you could be doing well right now financially, and this is, you're coming up as a king and a queen. Alright? And there's somebody here who transformed pain from a lesson. This is that energy. Maybe this person is supposed to do the same. But I'm getting like this is you. With that High Priestess of the Queen of Wands, is because you listened to some type of intuition and took action on something. And your investments is paying off. And with the Queen of Swords energy, you are now in a more logical space. And it's making someone restricted from you because of that. And, okay. What's the Queen of Swords to the Eight of Swords? The Knight of Cups in the reverse. It's whoever this is, okay, who is trying to mislead you in some type of way. This person could have been jealous, which I said was the Nine of Swords. This definitely could be like a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. That'd be Leo, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, Pisces. There's someone here who can't. It's almost like they're stopping themselves from doing something because they're still tore up about something. Six of Coins. Anyways, there's someone here who watched you do something and it gave them the hinting of something. You doing something was a confirmation to somebody else about something they thought was make-believe. They saw you do it, so now they know it's not make-believe. What's Juice? What's Juice in the reverse? I got the juice, I got the juice, channel. Something about Chance the Rapper falling off and him not listening to his answers and guides about getting back with his wife. Or how to fix the situation with his wife. And he wondering why he ain't got the juice. What's Juice in the reverse? I got the juice, I got the juice. Three of Wands. The Nine of Wands. The Chariot in the reverse. Somebody got no juice. Hierophant. Okay. Alright. Somebody did listen to their ancestors and guides. Even if they saw you do something that confirmed to something inside of them. This doesn't even have to be about love, Hierophant. God has placed you strategically in front of people to go through certain struggles to confirm to other people what he's trying to tell them. And there's certain people who watch you go through a struggle and they know why something is happening to them, but they'll never admit it to themselves. But then they get envious and jealous about you doing it. Okay? But there's someone here who saw you do something and they took it. They saw you turn your back and expand and go towards whatever you wanted to without them. And with the Chariot in the reverse, things started to halt for this person. Hierophant. This is as above, so below, again and again and again. The Death card, I told you, somebody was running from death. They were running from transformation. Hierophant, the Death card, they were running for spiritual transformations. Seven of Wands, standing on some type of belief. Three of Cups, Page of Cups in the reverse. And they had people around them that catered to their immaturity. Okay? And you did not. You did not. Whatever action, whatever they were doing that was catering to them, now doesn't. Hermit. Now somebody is learning that going against divine order puts you in the Nine of Swords over and over again. We have the Empress, the Four of Coins, the Ten of Swords, the Ace of Cups, the Nine of Coins in the reverse. So somebody's in the Chariot in the reverse, juiceless, trying to force things to work, and they're not getting success. What's the Chariot in the reverse with the juiceless energy? Somebody's car kept running out of gas. We have the Two of Wands and the Hangman. And it's because they chose this path. They chose the juiceless path. They chose to invest in the juiceless path instead of the path of learning your spiritual lesson in abundance. This is like somebody choosing to walk into the wilderness. And it's not bad. The wilderness will teach you lessons. You know? That's their medicine. We have the Ten of Cups, the Temperance, the Ten of Cups, Temperance, the Ten of Coins in the World card. Instead of learning some type of lessons that would have brought them to happiness, Eight of Cups, the Queen of Wands, the Four of Swords in the reverse, the King of Swords in the reverse, the Fool, the Ace of Wands, the Eight of Coins, Five of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, and the Judgment. There's someone out here who tried to run away from their spiritual calling. We had the Seven of Pentacles, freaking jumping in the whale. Okay? They chose a different route, and now they're looking at everything. They're looking at somebody else be happy in this Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles energy, just being rained on spiritually. Lord, rain on me, let your love come shining through, just rain. Okay, I know that's not a God song, okay? We have the Eight of Cups and the Queen of Wands, the Four of Coins, and the King of Swords. Somebody here watched you going into happiness because you emotionally walked away from something, freeing yourself from the devil, and they are still tore up about something. Four of Swords in the reverse, and they thought the solution would be to the Fool card, have some type of new beginning where they work hard, Eight of Coins, and they apply Judgment, High Priestess, the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, the Page of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles, the Strength card, the Six of Coins, the Two of Swords, and the Five of Cups, and then they did it again. The point is they didn't bring new energy into a situation. They chose to do the same thing in the situation, trying to force their perspective on a situation, and that's when they got juiceless. That's when the divine couldn't support them anymore. This is like somebody getting a second chance to do something, and they didn't believe in the divine, the divine would do, and they didn't make the change for the better. Instead, they sacrificed something. Whoever this is realizing that them doing that is the reason they're juiceless. Because the divine can't support a timeline that somebody chose. They chose a timeline where they sacrificed spiritual help. So that means you have to go stand out in the rain. It's this type of energy. Rumor has it as below, so below, as above, so below. Heavy on the Pisces, Cancer, Sagittarius energy here. Some of y'all are juiceless. Okay? What's rumor has it? Something about a devil. Four of Swords in the reverse. This is that person who thinks these spiritual inklings for their ancestors and gods are just rumors. This is someone not listening to their intuition. Okay, they're not healing, right? They aren't processing something correctly, and they're getting delays. They're finding themselves isolated. Suffering, mental suffering. Three of Coins. This rumor has this person who's juiceless because they took the path of no juice. I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you are not experiencing the sun right now, if you're not experiencing happiness and good luck and good fortune, and it is not sunny outside, like metaphorically, like when you know how like emotionally you can have like a gray kind of energy. Oh, I'm depressed, it's gray. If you're not being fed by the sun right now, you know that you have chose the path of the juiceless. So when you have the opportunity to get out of the path of juicelessness, I'm going to need you to hop onto the path of prosperity, please. Okay? Get a spoonful of prosperity instead of being juiceless. And there's something here. Somebody, they didn't listen to it. They thought it was a rumor. They thought they didn't have to listen to their ancestors and guides. They thought they could do what they want. It's giving spoiled child energy. Okay? Someone who thought that they could do what they want and still have juice. Like put juice in my sippy cup. Little boy energy. Little boy, little girl energy. Wondering why they sippy cup bone dry. Somebody's babies are not being taken care of. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. Okay? I pray that anybody who rumors or knows an inkling about somebody's babies not being taken care of and you don't do what you gotta do to give some type of sign, help, okay? You are also a part of the problem. I pray you have what it takes to do something. Because somebody, ooh, Lord have mercy. Somebody is withholding medicine from a sick baby when they have gotten signs of synchronicity that medicine can help, and they think that Western medicine is just make-believe, and they let some baby die out here, whoever this is, okay, you will be spiritually held accountable for that child's death. Okay, I don't know who needs to hear that when they know they can just go get some medicine and it would change. They're showing me this over and over again. Somebody knowing that the remedy to their problem would be doing the right thing, but because of their ego, because of their arrogance, they don't want to do the right thing. So they would rather let something die than to do the right thing. You're going to be spiritually held accountable for doing that. I don't know who needs to hear this, and this is why you over here juiceless. Choosing the path of delays. I gotta get out of this energy. As above, so below. I'm done. You're the Nine of Swords and the Devil in the reverse. Some type of worry, okay, anxiety, something emotionally is gonna push somebody to release themselves from something and choose happiness. It's just what it is. Six of Swords. It is coming to terms mentally with something. Letting bygones be bygones. You're the Queen of Pentacles. And the Hangman, or this is you, as above, so below. Because somebody didn't do something because they believe it's a rumor, you get to release yourself from something. You chose the path of happiness. Hangman. And somebody is having a change of perspective. And I told you, you were the sign and the symbol to change perspective of unwoken people. 311. There's something weird going on here. Hierophant. That's making people have a changed perspective as what is as above, so below. There's some people who want to live in this, who want to live in this energy in which they don't have to learn anything, they don't have to take accountability, nothing is ever their fault. It's just the world doing what they gotta do, and then they blame the world for raining on them. They blame the world for keeping them in a suffering cycle where they are juiceless and can't move forward. But you are like a beacon to the sleep sheep. who have not awoken to the terms and conditions of the spiritual contract on earth. And when you elevate, you get signs and symbols for other people elevating. And some of you don't even know why you have to go through the rain. You know you doing the right things. You know you try to be a good person. And you're wondering why you have to go through the rain. It's for spiritual elevation, first of all. And then you become a symbol and a beacon for everybody else who wants to deny what they're spiritually being told. It's like you wake up people. So not only are you being used to elevate yourself, your elevation elevates others. And once you realize that, you start wanting more rain. You start wanting more elevation. You start wanting to play the game more. Because you know it's an end game for you. You know, as above, so below. God is also sending you synchronicities. That the more you do good, the more better you'll live. And do good is according to your spiritual path. Not everybody's do good is the same thing. I'm not trying to put you in a doctrine and making you a slave and a robot to take everything. No. Like I said earlier, there's some of you who know you're spiritually tapped in. You know by doing good, good will be done unto you. But you had to learn a lesson about doing good as well. Where to cut it off. And you didn't even have to do it. Those people who needed to be cut off were naturally cut off by their own karma. So while you're up right now, signs and symbols, all you need to do is focus on collecting the rain. Collecting, living, thriving in this energy, really putting your feet up and resting for the next battle. Because just like this person is getting signs and synchronicities how to get out of the rain, you are getting signs and synchronicities of your next test, your next lesson that can either put you in the rain or level you up even more. Oof. And some of you have been leveling up. And some of you have been leveling up, and it's time for new signs and new synchronicities. What's the temperance? Okay, divine timing, which is weird. The Four of Wands, the Three of Cups, and the Seven of Wands. Something exclusive. There's an exclusive party going on, and not everybody is invited. Temperance, the Four of Wands, the Three of Cups, the Seven of Wands. Someone, if you give someone a chance and they still mess you over, even when you try to change and do the right thing, you're going to be leveled up and they're not invited to the party. You're going to need to protect yourself from this person because they're juiceless. And if you allow them back into your life, okay, to try to change things, their juiceless energy will affect your abundance. So you're being asked to hold back right now, protect yourself, and enjoy it while it's good, okay? Because whoever this is in this juiceless energy, they're still fighting and working hard to go nowhere while they watch you celebrate, knowing why you're celebrating, knowing where they fucked up, okay? And whoever this is taking action to heal. But you holding out on them is what causes some type of healing. Because if you nurture them, they'll never learn a lesson. Five of Cups, King of Pentacles, Four of Cups. They'll never learn a lesson. Three of Pentacles. And you're being taught how to teach people lessons. This is the time when you exit stage left into oblivion. Right? And then they learn the lesson. And then you'll see them the next go around when the Wheel of Fortune comes around. It's that type of energy. I guess I'll see you next lifetime. This is the energy that I have for you. If you resonate with anything here, you know what to do. Give your girl some love. I appreciate you. Peace.